Jeremy Joseph. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, brother.
So you're like a certified musician. Like you really live in musician land, as it were.
I really try my best to do that. I've been cutting my teeth at it for a few years now. It's just been trying to envelop myself in what it means to be a full-time professional musician.
Hmm. So this is like your main job, would you say?
Yeah, I would consider this, 100%. Like I'm all in, baby.
So I guess there's like a whole conversation we could start with, like just how do you think that changes your outlook on like playing gigs versus someone who's like maybe a bit more part-time into this?
So, I mean, a long time ago when I was first doing shows, this would be about 2016, 2017, when I was like a part-time musician, let's say. I just remember pulling up to Johnny's bar in like Bradford, Ontario or something, and I've got the bare essentials. I've got just barely what I need, and I'm showing up to the gig and I'm bringing my stuff in, and I'm super nervous. I'm very like I'm unwrapping the cables. I'm like, oh man, everybody's like looking at me weird and stuff, and it's like, I felt really uneasy about it, and you know, setting up, doing the show, you're super high energy. You're like your adrenaline's going like, whoa, holy shit. And slowly, after I don't know, after about doing that 100 times, that those feelings start to go away a little bit. You feel a little more comfortable in your setup, your tear down, you're talking to the audience and things like that. And yeah, I just find with experience, you get to kind of get into a sort of groove to where you're completely comfortable, but not too comfortable.
Hmm.
There's complacency.
Yeah, there's like drunk guy on the stage who just doesn't care if he's good or not. That's not what we're doing, right?
No, 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 no. It's like you always have that adrenaline flowing, and like if you have a really good crowd, be it on a big stage like Bond Street or Biltmore or something like that, that's always going to be crazy, super hype. Um, Even if you're just playing small bar gigs and things like that, you still need to learn how to channel that energy, that kind of fight or flight response that we all have. And it's still there in the back of your mind. You can just use it as a tool rather than it using you,
Hmm. Okay.
kind of making you doubt yourself.
Well, and just I guess there's an interesting thing here in just like you're getting comfortable is like what you're saying, right?
Um, I don't know if comfortable would be the right word for it. Um, but you're just used to it. You're used to the pressure.
Okay.
You get to learn how to navigate through the challenges and the what ifs and the fun things that happen when you're doing things like this.
Okay. What are some of the what ifs that you've encountered?
Um, wow.
That's a story prompt right there.
Yeah,
You ever heard one?
Yep, yep. You're giving me a pop fly here. I mean, I could go into like the way I used to handle things. I remember I was very nervous on the stage when I was like in my first year, actually kind of getting paid to do this sort of thing. I remember one time specifically, I was in Barrie, and I was playing at this hipster burger bar thing, and this one guy, he was just like really, really, really loaded, and back then I used to play Wonderwall as
Oh no.
as
Oh no.
right. I'm guilty of it. This was 9 years ago.
Wonderwall one time in a night is okay.
So this is actually where it gets funny. So Buddy's just blasted. He's like, "Yeah, Wonderwall, that's so good," and he's like right up in my face, and he's like, "Play it again." I was like,
Oh no.
I was like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Come on, play it again," and I'm like,
We're putting that on the repeat one setting.
yeah. And so I do a couple of songs. He's like, "I fucking Wonderwall." I'm like, "Dude, like, is that gonna shut you up?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I fucking do it again. That was my first mistake.
Let me guess it. Jeremy, when you're at the beach and they tell you like not to feed the seagulls?
Mm-hmm. That's
That's the situation you found yourself in here,
and
I
so
think.
so after I played a third time, finally security steps in and escorts the man out of the room outside. I don't really know what happened to him, but the whole it was a packed house too. The whole room shared a good laugh about that, and I said I will not be playing Wonderwall anymore tonight. And I think that was
After 3 times, I think you've hit a limit here.
yeah.
I think maybe the limit should even be 1 time with that song.
Yeah, so now my policy is if somebody shouts Wonderwall, and I'm playing in a bar setting or whatever, me and some other musician friends around town, we have this joke. We're like, "Oh, that's a $20 song right there," and they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, I got a tip jar here. I got a guitar case open. If you throw that 20 down, if you want to hear it badly enough, then I will play it for you. I'll play it well. I don't want to play it, but so." That's kind of where we are with that. There's like a couple other songs like that too, like Wagon Wheel, everybody
Okay,
knows
yeah.
Wagon Wheel. So
I guess
that's
you're more in the country world than me, right? So like that song doesn't really come up in most of the things I end up at.
oh well.
I wouldn't say it's like on the level of Wonderwall.
If you're versed in country at all, that's the Wonderwall of country music.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's another thing on my $20 song list
Hmm.
with mm, I don't know, Sweet Home Alabama sometimes comes on and off that list. Depends on the day.
Depends on the quality of the version I think you're going to put out with that song,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like if it's a full band doing Sweet Home Alabama like Lynyrd Skynyrd, that's like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and I got 2 lead guitarists behind me, and they're gonna just like rip the
Yeah,
crap out of
but
it.
if it's like acoustic college kid version of it,
yeah,
that's a $20 song.
yeah, and it's in those settings, you don't have to pander to the audience too much, but you have to make them engage. You got to keep them around. That's the
Yeah.
reason. That's the whole reason you're there is for them to hang out. And
But I
drink,
guess that's
and
kind
drink
of the
more
point
beer.
of like talking to the audience about the $20 song thing and having like sort of pre-planned bits that you can do in between your songs, right?
Yeah, and so that opens up a dialogue, and you can kind of share a few shots back and forth and a little bit of banter. And there's always one table. That's table number 1. It could be one guy sitting at a table, could be 8 people sitting at a table, but that's who you're gonna lock into, and you're mainly gonna have a conversation with that one table.
Okay, this is interesting because I've never thought about it that way.
Now, sometimes you can have multiple tables that you're interacting with in these bar situations, but 9 times out of 10, your main interaction is going to be from the drunkest table in the room, which is usually the one closest to you.
Okay.
And so it makes it an entertaining dialogue for the whole room as well. And you just, you get to learn how to navigate that.
Weave in and out, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a bit of a delicate balancing act because, sometimes you got to like take a couple of shots at them, but you don't want them to get too upset, but you still got to make things.
Yeah, how drunk are they, I guess, is the how upset do you want to make them?
Yeah. yeah.
Because like if
pretty
they're
much.
way too far gone, now they're just a punching bag. You can say whatever you want here. If they're like a little less than that and they like might still fight you, now you have to maybe pull some punches here.
Yeah, well, then again, like you're at the point where it's like the main rule of comedy is you don't punch down,
Fair enough.
and so you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's like that balancing act, and it's been really fun to navigate, and I think I've gotten pretty good at it over the years. I'm not gonna lie.
This is like the part of being a musician that most musicians don't think about is like everything other than playing music.
Oh yeah, no, there's that part too.
Right? Of like, well, playing music is critical skill, I guess, in the job, but like
pretty crucial. Yeah.
I think if you put zero thought at all into like what's your stage presence going to be like, and do you want to talk to the audience? Do you want to like tell stories? Like what do you do besides the music part of it?
Uh,
Because it's still a performance, it's a show, right?
yeah, and there's a lot of musicians that, well, especially if you're, removed from the audience in such a way, if you're on a bigger stage, let's say, right? Then you have to create that audience interaction, or if you just want them to kind of stay quiet, not build any hype, you just want them to hear the music. That's your choice,
Hmm.
right? Which is, I think, you know, a skill in and of itself. That's really, you know, I admire a lot of musicians that can build this kind of. It's almost as if, there's 10,000 people in this hall or in this stadium, and you get to, have this conversation with them, trying to relate to them like you're one on one with this one audience that's, this one audience member that's 100 rows in the back, but you resonate with them and
Hmm.
you make them, feel like they're a part of something bigger than just buying a ticket at a show.
Hmm. That's cool. So something you talked about here that I want to kind of double back to,
Hmm.
of like the stereotypical like drunk guy in the audience. What are some like concert going etiquette rules
Um,
that like maybe
uh,
people don't always nail,
Number
right?
one, keep your clothes on.
Yeah.
Number two, if if you're gonna chat, if you're gonna have a conversation, like we're talking about specifically in like a bar setting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is and this for like the reality of it is that 99% of musicians, part time, full time, professional, this is the grind, right? This
Hmm.
is You're gonna be hanging out in these bars in these small clubs, and this is where you're gonna learn all your shit. This is where you're gonna learn how to get good on stage, have good stage presence, and learn how to interact with people. Um, kind of in a podcaster way or like in a streamer way. It's like a
Hmm.
parasocial relationship that you create with them, right?
Yeah. Well, because I'm talking to you, audience member, but audience member, you can talk back, but like maybe don't talk back as much as I'm talking.
Well, yeah, right. And
With a
so,
lot of nuance, right? Because sometimes, yeah, you do.
hmm so I think like the important thing is you like as an audience member, you have to look for these signals. If there's an opportunity to say have a word in, if somebody, sometimes it'll be a dead night just at this bar. It'll be like the end of the show. It'll be like 1 in the morning. I still got like half an hour to go,
Hmm.
and I kind of open up the floor a little bit. I'm like, hey, what do you like? What do you guys want to hear? How you guys feeling tonight? This is a little more of an intimate situation. We can kind of have a
Yeah.
conversation if you want.
Well, like if
Um,
you're the last person in the bar, now you can do whatever you freaking want because you're not embarrassing anyone here other than yourself.
yeah, and maybe the bartenders, but
Yeah, well, okay.
but no, when it's a fully packed, all the tables are full. Yeah, just kind of like if you're actually paying attention to whoever's on stage, be it a comedy act or a musician or whatever, you just wait for these cues to where hey, this might be a joke. Hey, it'd be a good time to laugh. Maybe I can throw in a quick rebuttal.
Hmm.
Let's throw something at them. Are they just gonna laugh it off, or are they gonna have like a witty response and kind of you know keep the joke going, and then you guys share a moment, and that's what makes live music in these settings just such a beautiful thing. I think where you
Hmm.
can where you become part of the show in a way.
Yeah.
You're a small supporting cast member of it, let's say, but it's still everybody likes to be acknowledged. Everybody likes to be respected. Everybody likes to joke around. So if you can kind of pile all that stuff together on top of a music show, I think you got the formula for a great night, and that's kind of what we're here to do.
Right. Well, and I kind of think of it as like there's this spectrum between like music and stand-up comedy, where it's like how music centric is your performance versus how like talking centric is your performance, right? Because there's like comedians who are mostly comedy with a little music,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's like B.A. Johnson is like right in between the two, where it's half and half.
That man is an anomaly
That
right
man is an
there.
anomaly. Coming to Bond Street on I forget the date. I'll
Yeah,
put it on the screen.
look it up online.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's you can go from your traditional stand-up comics to you got like your Dimitri Martins or your Bob Saget's, rest in peace, and even like Flight of the Conchords, where they fall somewhere in that spectrum, where again the musicians also can kind of slide on this imaginary rule that we got here,
Hmm.
and so you know I like to stay just a little bit talky, just like enough to try and have a conversation if I'm in a bar setting.
Hmm.
If I'm at a show and I got 15 minutes, sorry guys, I'm just gonna like
Play the song.
I'm just gonna play the fucking song and maybe say a couple of words. That's that's all we're gonna do because
Time's limited.
yeah, we're here for a good time, not a long time.
Right.
Once I get to the headline area where I have an hour on stage, maybe I can have a conversation a little more.
Hmm. But
But
even then, in an hour, how much of it are you going to spend talking? Like 5 minutes? 10? Like,
mm, maybe 5 or 7 minutes. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think that seems appropriate.
Yeah. And like, just as long as it doesn't like pull people out of the show, right? And it doesn't become like the excuse to, oh, I'm just going to go to the bathroom or go out for a smoke or whatever your thing is, right?
Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Hmm.
100%.
Okay. So, something we were talking about before the podcast
Mm.
is so you've got this new kind of project thing that you're working on with Sean Badams, violin player.
Yep, an incredible violin
In
player,
yeah,
multi instrumentalist. Yeah, he's the bee's knees, man.
hell yeah. So and for a while you were saying how you were like struggling to figure out what exact genre you wanted this new project to be,
uh,
right?
yeah, like I mean, like primarily myself. I've always just been like an acoustic singer songwriter guy, and shout out Ed Sheeran. City and Color, sort of in that kind of avenue of things. But I, I had this one idea a long time ago where you can take, like essentially like EDM artists do this all the time, where they'll release like their big, you know, track with all the breakdowns and all this stuff, and then they can release kind of an acoustic version of things, right?
Okay. So
Um,
almost like unplugged EDM.
Um, yeah, so like, Alessia Cara, Stay, there's like Haley Williams and Zed, Stay the Night. I think I'm remembering that correctly. There's like, a bunch of hit EDM songs that they'll release like acoustic versions of. And so with this project, what we're trying to do is kind of blend East Coast kind of folk kind of in Irishy kind of vibe, and then introducing an electronic element or an industrial element to this. And we're just, we're in the process of cooking something up right now, and it's been it's it's been an interesting journey because I had this idea of like doing one show twice or doing if you're touring a town um, on like two separate nights. You can go to like the EDM show or you can go to the more traditional show.
Oh, and you want to do like two versions of the show? Or like same thing just in two different settings.
So like two different versions. So
Okay.
like one that would be a little more traditional that attracts like a specific sort of audience, and then you have you know,
The
your
nightclub version.
your electronica kind of show. And so I was trying to figure out the term for this, and I was in like a Wikipedia rabbit hole, and I was actually looking up Zach Brown band, like a country band. And I just found out that he was in an EDM group. Um, I, I can't think of the name right now, but the genre category really stood out to me. It was called folktronica, like electronica
Okay.
folk, and so that kind of finally put a label on this thing that I was thinking of for a very long time, and the fact that I have one of the greatest musicians in Ontario and Canada working with me really like kind of blows me away the opportunities that you can get if you just kind of make friends in this business, like
Right. Well, and that's, I guess, another kind of critical thing a lot of musicians miss is like, yeah, I mean, like, you need to worry about your show, but like, socializing when you're not on stage is part of it,
huge.
right?
I mean, you could be the greatest local artist in the world, and if you're an asshole, unless you like blow up on TikTok and you got people knocking down the door for you. If you're trying to do this yourself, and well, it's not really doing it by yourself, but if you're trying to do this in a little bit of a traditional route and you want to get noticed in your community and work your way up from there, uh, networking is a huge thing with other musicians, and then just being a friend to people that come out to the shows and hang
Yeah.
out, and just finding ways to if you're not collaborating in business, then just make friends.
God
like
forbid, enjoy yourself
holy
at your own show. You're
yeah,
allowed to.
yeah. And I don't
Well, and I
like
think it's just like a lot of musicians are in that like nervous phase of it where they're like so in their head about like what songs am I gonna play, and like is this one gonna work? Is that should I do this? And then you think you're just churning and you forget to hi,
hey,
thanks for
yeah, hey,
coming,
yeah, how you doing? Yeah.
right?
um oh yeah, I mean, artists can get caught up in their heads so much because that you spend your time building your craft, and I wouldn't say this for everybody, but I know that a lot of musicians tend to at least start out as introverts.
Yeah, yeah,
9 years ago when I was first playing shows, I was very introverted. I mean, I still kind of am to this day, but you just learn how to socialize and be present in the moment,
hmm.
and actually keep up with people and
Well, and I think there's
have
this
friends.
shift of like I think there used to be a lot more bands than solo artists as compared to today.
10,000%. Yeah.
So, but when you have a band and there's four people, three of them can be introverts. As long as one of them,
Hmm.
usually a lead singer,
Hmm.
is extroverted and able to like keep that dialogue going.
Hmm.
But then today, I think the shift just comes from the fact that a four-person band costs four times as much generally.
Uh, yeah, like in the small time, like in the, just starting out, to be a band is extremely difficult.
Right.
Like you definitely you can't get away with working like clubs or bars or just like small venues
Hmm.
and like without having a massive following. But how do you build that following?
Yeah.
Because
But what I was saying is like if you're comparing that to like now I need to go out as a solo artist, I think a lot of introverts just say like no, 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 I'm not going to. I don't want to.
yeah, and so like I notice a lot of, I think, younger musicians, they tend to just stick to like the online realm,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah, it's the iPad generation kind of
I
thing, right?
yeah, and like like no shade to these guys at all. It's just it's a different world. It's
Yeah. It's
like
arguably more commercially successful,
it's true. Yeah,
right?
I mean I've been dragging my feet a little bit trying to get onto this next wave of how to get noticed in the world.
Hmm?
Um, And definitely one thing I've noticed from the bar scenes is that very, very, very seldom do you see people under 25 like hanging out in these smaller venues that
Yeah.
that that we.
I blame it on COVID, honestly. Because I
Mhm.
think a lot of these people, when they were like coming of age and like
Mhm.
turning old enough to drink and go to bars, the bars were closed.
Mhm.
So they just kind of stayed home, went on Twitch and chatted with their friends or whatever they're doing.
Yeah. Again,
Right. But like people who were old enough to be going out to bars before COVID kind of still want to.
yeah. Well, it's.
And it's not
I
like
mean,
the alcohol thing either, right? Like I think Gen Z is a lot less into drinking than maybe us.
Mhm.
But it's also like they're just so socially anxious about being in a crowded room,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
That a lot of them just don't wanna.
Yeah, and that could be just the natural evolution of us as a species.
Maybe. Yeah.
Who
This is why we're gonna
who
have to
who
start
really
hiring AI for live music. The
Yeah,
Chat
'cause
GPT show.
yeah, well, I mean, we still have our boomer bands out there, so I
Yeah.
mean, like in a couple of generations, yeah, maybe. Yeah, we're going to just have to have like holograms of Eddie Van Halen at Joe's bar up the street or I don't know, Tim Henson or something like that,
Oh, I feel like
just
that's a thing from some sci-fi movie, like hologram bands of famous old bands.
it, I mean,
And that seems like a Futurama thing.
I feel like they're probably already doing that in like Japan or something.
Probably.
And shout out Hatsune Miku. If you know, you know.
Okay. I don't know.
Oh, it's like this. Well, I wouldn't call it AI generated, but it's like this artist that's just completely created electronically. Uses this technology. It's a like Vocaloid. So this character, everything's just designed on a computer, and nobody's even singing for this like digital artist.
Okay. So it's like AI generated voice only, but like the music is from a person?
Yeah, so like this all started like before AI as we know it
Hmm.
was a thing, but it's definitely advanced now to a point. I mean, I haven't really looked her up too much in recent years, but I've had some weeb friends that have introduced me to that world.
Did you just say weed friends?
Weeb,
Oh, weeb.
oh,
Okay.
a weeaboo, I think they call them.
Ah, the
Man,
culture.
yeah, an otaku. Anyways, circling back, let's get back to the point here.
Yeah. You know what? You suggested bringing a guitar. I mean, why don't
Yeah,
we get you to play a song?
sure. All right.
And
Let's set it up. All right. Well, got a couple of newer songs that I haven't released yet, so we'll do them here. So this first one, it's called "Time," and goes out to my fiance Tina. Let's take a little ride out of town, far away from the same old crowd. It's been far too long since we thought about ourselves, where we wanna go and who we wanna be, if we're gonna start that family. Whoa, 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 whoa. 'Cause things are gonna change in a little bit. We've gotta write that script. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So what do you say? What do you say? Well, time keeps moving faster and I can't see myself without you. See myself without you. When time keeps moving faster and I can't live my life without you. Live my life without you. farm in the south, find a new, the same old crowd. As long as I'm with you, I'm wandering on holy ground. So what do you say? What do you say? Well, time keeps moving faster and I can't see myself without you. See myself without you. Well, time keeps moving faster and I can't live my life without you. Live my life without you. And I'm tired of running, yeah, looking back on this. Why don't we finish the story? It goes like this, yeah. Time keeps moving faster and I can't see myself without you. See myself without you. Well, time keeps moving faster and I can't live my life without you. Live my life without you. So what do you say? What do you say?
Dude, fucking lovely. So, I guess there's like a question here about like, oh shit.
Hold on, let's readjust.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to figure out better mic stand situation. Anyway, no, I wanted to talk more about like your songwriting process and kind of how you approach that.
Sure. I mean, for me, I typically go straight just pop song, just try to emulate stuff that's really catchy, stuff that we hear on the radio all the time, and then kind of give it just a little bit of my own little flavoring to it.
But so like in your head, you're starting with like what genre you want to do?
Yeah, so I guess like that song as it stands, it kind of blends a little bit of, let's say, like a Luke Bryan ballad with like some Ed Sheeran and City and Color influences. Some of just some of my favorite artists that I kind of model myself after and try to you know I really love what they're doing. I love what they sound like, and I just try to give it my own little spin. I take I kind of go at it from, at least mentally, I have a kind of like a what's a term for it? Why am I blanking on this right now? It's like a it's, it's like there's these segments of the song. Everything in like a traditional pop song is segmented in such a certain way.
Talking about like song structure?
There you go. Yeah, I don't know why I can't even think of that word right now. Or that phrase. But yeah, so the song structure of your typical pop song will, you know, have the intro, the verse, the pre-chorus, the chorus. You can add in a post-chorus.
And that's not even like just a pop thing. It's kind of just what most people expect out of most songs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using the term pop kind of loosely.
Sure.
Like it, as in like popular music.
Pop as opposed to weird.
Yeah, like I have other songs that could kind of go a little bit off center. That are they get a little funky, they get a little weird. But yeah, for the most part, if I'm trying to write a song that I think the audience can connect with and something that I can express myself, I tend to do it in a pop sort of rock format that just has all the basic elements of here's the intro, here's the verse, or maybe we'll start with the chorus, switch things up. And you just have this basic song structure, and you can, add in whatever you want, and then it's still recognizable to your average listener. It's very easily accessible. And
Well, it's kind of about like
something like that.
understanding expectations in your audience's head, and like you want to do any things that are like expected, but like with enough surprise to it that it keeps it interesting.
Yeah, it's, it has to be familiar enough to where people are like, oh, okay, oh, wait, this part's coming up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, that part did come up. Maybe not how I expected it. Or, oh, that sounded like this. Or, oh, that reminded me of this. But, with its own little flavoring.
Well, so this was a quote I heard from Tommy Emmanuel a while ago, was being entertained is actually a feeling of being constantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like because you don't want to be too surprised. That's like crazy guy on the sidewalk kind of feeling. Right? But like...
That's terrified. That's terror.
Yeah. But there's like a kind of happy middle where you're not too psychotic, but like keeping everyone constantly like kind of fixed on you, right? Directing the attention, I guess, is a good way to put it.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's, I love songs, I love ballad. Like the way I pictured that song going is kind of like something akin to, somebody dancing to that song like as a first dance at their wedding or something like that. It's sweet, it's soft, and that's just kind of how that song took shape.
Okay.
Whereas, I mean, I could play another one that's a little more upbeat and exciting, and it's, I don't know if you want to jump in.
Yeah, sure, let's do that.
All right. Okay, I'll show you another one. All right. This tune is called I Don't Want You, and it goes a little something like this. Well, I can hardly hear a word you're saying in places packed this tight. Said I'd go for a round or two and then I'd call it a night. But the whiskey keeps flowing and the band's still playing on. Would you take this chance to one more dance, to one more country song? Before the midnight turns to one and the one turns into two. Oh, she said, take a step outside. Wait, honey, tell you what we're gonna do. 'Cause I don't want you to go. Well, I don't want you to go, yeah. Well, I don't want you to go, but girl, I'm telling you that I don't want to stay. Ooh, no. Well, I can hardly hear a word you're saying. This is packed this tight. Said I'd go for a round or two and then I'd call it a night. But the whiskey keeps flowing, yeah, band's still playing on. Would you take this chance to one more dance and one more country song? Before the midnight turns to one, the one becomes us two. Oh, I said, take a step outside with me, honey. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. 'Cause I don't want you to go, yeah. Well, I don't want you to go, no. I don't want you to go. Girl, I'm telling you that I don't want to stay, yeah. Well, this is it, and it's one last kiss, and then you head inside, that's fine. But if you wanna rock my world, I'll take you for a ride. 'Cause I don't want you to go, no. Well, I don't want you to go. Well, I don't want you to go, but girl, I'm telling you that I don't wanna stay. Ooh, no.
I guess coming out of that one,
Ooh.
we had some things on the to-do list here.
That we did.
Uh, yeah, topic from the boogeyman of downtown Oshawa, Miss Tina Gagliardi, of Crosswalk Entertainment.
Yes.
So there's something coming up at Biltmore Theatre that they're starting as a monthly event, isn't that right?
Yeah, so yeah, we got some really cool stuff coming up there on top of Hometown Sounds. Check it out. But we're here to talk about Songwriter today, which is going to be a monthly event that we're going to be hosting upstairs on the mezzanine at the Biltmore. Yeah, what do you want to know? Just what's
Yeah,
going on?
so I guess like every time you start talking about an open mic, I guess the questions are always like, what time of night is it happening?
Mm-hmm.
How big is it? Like, does it include like a band that's there for the artists to play with?
Mm-hmm.
And then also just like, is there some kind of theme to this one? Right? You said it's Songwriter, so
Yeah. So yeah, this is actually going to be kind of an afternoon event on a Sunday, which those two
that
things
changes the feel of things a lot, doesn't it?
changes the vibe up a whole ton. And so what Songwriter is essentially is it's going to be an environment where musicians come hang out with us, and it's strictly for original pieces of music. So that's your typical open mic. Usually consists of a lot of people doing covers, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're just trying to do something a little bit different here, trying to showcase and workshop and try to just try to bring a more um, of the original side of what Durham has to offer for musicians. And
Well, and what makes it interesting at an
um,
open mic is the idea that like you're playing to other musicians.
uh
And in this case, to other musicians who have their own original music.
yeah, so I mean it's not exclusive to like musicians only, like, oh
Yeah, anyone
hey,
who
like
wants to is allowed to go. It's just like presumably because it is an open mic, it's a room of a lot of musicians, right?
yeah, it's not at a sports bar, so you're not gonna have like your normal patrons who just kind of are there to hang out and, oh hey, look, somebody's
There's
playing in
someone over. What's that
someone's playing over
noise
there.
in the corner?
You know,
Yeah.
so it'll be a very involved group of musicians and just music lovers in general
Hmm.
who who are there to not only show off what they have, but they want to hear what you got.
Hmm.
And there's
And it becomes an opportunity to talk about this kind of thing
yeah, and
with people who understand the difficulties of it.
yeah, and it's just a great place to hang out with other musicians, other music lovers, other people in the scene.
Hmm.
You
And
know,
it's the Biltmore mezzanine. It's beautiful up there.
yeah, no, it's an amazing place, and it's Tina and I were talking about this the other day, and it's like almost like a proving grounds for you. Like you can, you're gonna be on our little stage on the mezzanine, and you look out to the left and you see that huge stage there at the end of the hall, and you're like,
One day.
and if you're just like a hobbyist,
Hmm.
it's just a cool place to play your music. But if you're like an aspiring musician, you can kind of look over there and be like, all right, that's my next goal. That's my next objective is, okay, I'm already playing at the Biltmore. Now let's try to, you know, let's cultivate and let's get to that main stage.
Hmm.
Let's get to that next level.
So I guess that's an interesting conversation you could dive into. Like for someone who is maybe less experienced in the world of music, trying to get up to that level,
Yeah.
what kind of advice might you have for them?
10,000 hours, baby. Do whatever you can with what you got, and just there's there's no real shortcut to doing it.
Hmm.
You got to put in the time, you have to put in the effort, you got to put in the practice. Songwriting as a technique, or just arranging music in general, is really a skill on top of a skill that needs to be cultivated.
Hmm.
And if you're not doing that, then you can't get any better. It's like playing an RPG, like a video game, right? You can't beat the final boss if you're a level 5.
Mm.
You gotta go grind in the woods and chop trees or whatever.
You know,
Or
it's funny you make that comparison because that's how I got into guitar. Was one summer I played Guitar Hero like 5 hours a day for 2 months, and then I
same
was like,
same
wait,
here.
if I had a real guitar, I would have just done like 300 hours of practice time here,
Yeah.
right? Like it adds up to the point where I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do that instead of video games? Like that seems like a more productive use of my time.
Yeah. No. That's exactly how it started for me.
Yeah.
I played Guitar Hero 3, and I'm like, what's this Dragon Force thing? Whoa! And then I was like obsessed for like a year. I was in like grade 8 or something, and it's like, yeah, I got to get Herman Lee's guitar. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
Well, and it's funny because I think the fantasy of musician life that Guitar Hero sold you is not at all really reality.
Uh, for
Right?
like,
Like cuz it gives you this like rock god kind of like
yeah, party all the time, and like
I think reality is much more interesting than that.
it really is. But I mean, it's not like the opportunity isn't there.
Oh yeah.
You just got to carpe that diem, and if you're lucky, if you're really lucky and you work really hard, you know the potential for anything to whatever you can set your mind to and whatever you
Mm,
believe is possible if you again 10,000 hours and like not just you know you can try and fake it, but you're not gonna get anywhere close if you're not genuinely in love with playing music
mm.
itself and performing and
Well, and that's
uh
something that I've noticed with a lot of beginner kind of types where like you're watching them and they're playing the song correctly, they're singing well, but it's
yeah.
like you stop and realize, wait, like I don't think you're actually enjoying yourself here. Right? And it goes back to just
Mhm.
you're probably nervous.
Mhm.
But like I think if you enjoy yourself while you're playing, that's really the key to make everyone else in the room enjoy themselves.
Yeah, like that energy really like that energy transfer
Right?
is
You
so
can't fake
real.
it is the thing.
Or you have to be like incredibly good at faking it.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
like
that's professional stuff. That's like your dad died yesterday, but you have this huge show you need to do, right? And
yeah.
like I still have to do it. There's still 500 grand of tickets sold.
Yeah, that's like, if you can do that, then you can, cheat a lie detector test basically.
Yeah.
You become that embodiment like you become an actor of sorts.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
Yeah, well, and there's this thing of like I keep going back to it when I'm thinking about just like musician stuff in general that music is not one skill the way people kind of think about it. It's
Mhm.
this whole kind of mosaic of overlapping skills, right? So like you might practice your strum patterns for a
Mhm.
while and your chord shapes for a while and you need to learn all of that stuff to even play the instrument. But
Mhm.
then on top of it, like having good stage presence is a
Mhm.
thing. Being able to connect emotionally with your audience is a thing, right?
Mhm.
There's all of these like outside of music skills
Mhm.
that if you want to do this successfully, you also have to be working
Yeah. And so, a great place to cultivate that would be at Songwriter
on. Mm.
at the Biltmore. We do it every last Sunday of the month. That's right.
And it's on like an all ages.
Yep, it's all ages. Everybody's welcome. All skill levels are welcome, and this is the place you want to be if you want to grow yourself as a musician, not only in the performing sense, but in the getting to know your community,
Yeah.
getting to
It's a networking thing just as much as a performing thing.
yeah, and you get to learn the etiquette. You can see what your peers around you are doing. What are they
Mm.
doing right? What are they doing wrong? I'm not saying that anybody is, but you can, you really get to pick up on these things, and you can tell, who's doing really good, and you can, try and model yourself after that. Try to pick up on those positive traits on, those musicians that like to show up and hang out and that are doing really well.
Yeah.
What are those guys doing different?
Well, and it's not so much of like a these people are doing it right and these people are doing it wrong, as it's like a I like the way these people are doing it and I don't like the way these people are doing it. So I'm going to emulate them.
Yeah, there's no single correct answer for this. It's, in the
Right?
same
Like my favorite bands are bands that some people would run out of the room from.
yeah,
Right? And
that's
there's people who love stuff that I don't want to go to.
100%. And so it's whatever vibes with you, whatever connects with you, whatever matches your energy and feels correct. Sorry.
Oh,
Hold on a second.
I bet it's Crosswalk Entertainment.
It is Crosswalk Entertainment. Hello, Tina. You're on air with us. What's up? Yeah, we are actually. Yeah, Tina from Crosswalk Entertainment is actually on the phone with me
Yeah.
right now.
Hold her up to the microphone.
Yeah, do you want to say hi to the folks?
No.
No, that's what I'm here for.
Okay, I'll just pop down to Usher and meet you there when you're done.
Okay, love.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Amazing. A woman of few words.
Like I said, boogeyman of downtown Oshawa. Truly everywhere. Okay, I poke fun at her. Crosswalk Entertainment is just really on the ball in terms of like downtown Oshawa events. They're definitely worth following.
Yes, give us a follow. Crosswalk Entertainment. That's where you'll find all of our events. That's where you'll find, we like to showcase a lot of local talent.
No,
We-
why don't you
we
talk
like
about
to-
hometown sounds for a bit here?
Ooh, yeah. You wanna start from the beginning?
Sure.
Okay. Wow. So this is a really great story. This is one I love to tell. One that Tina loves to tell as well. So about was it 3? Yeah, but I guess about 3 years ago now, maybe 2.5 years ago. We were at this little bar, somewhat in the north end of Oshawa, Simcoe Blues and Jazz.
Rest in
And
peace.
yes, R.I.P. That was a great little venue. Anyways, so as a side gig, sometimes I would go play there on Thursday evenings. Wasn't the busiest place, but again, that 10,000 hours thing, I just wanted to be on stage as much as possible, and I honestly I still do. And so done playing a show there that night, and we're chatting with the owners and stuff, and I said, one of these times, I'd love to do a Saturday here. And unfortunately, the bar at the time wasn't really doing the best in terms of audience, and I didn't really have that much reach as a local musician at the time. And so, Tina was there. We were chatting about it, and she was like, "What if I put together like a showcase of local musicians? We'll get like 4 musicians together on a Saturday night, and we'll get all of them to bring their fan bases, and then all these different communities can connect with each other
Okay.
and learn about what else is going on in the local music scene."
So really it kind of started off as like a way of pooling your fans with other people's in the community.
Yeah, and I just this was a really cool like dive bar, and it just had such a cool vibe to it, and it was a great room. It could hold like 100 people.
Well, and by nature of being next door to Long and McQuaid, it's like
Yeah,
the music bar, right?
yeah, no, you could throw a rock and smash. You can smash a window from like the smoking section of. Anyway,
Don't do that.
Don't do that, kids. Anyways, you know what I mean. Yeah, within spitting distance. And
Don't do that either.
Yeah, and so we you know, we did that once, and then it turned into like a monthly thing. We did about 5 or 6 of these events that we started calling hometown sounds. I say we, really it was Tina that was doing 95% of it. Uh, okay, 99% of it. But anyways, so eventually, rest in peace, Simcoe Blues and Jazz. They shut down, and Tina was starting to have these conversations with the owner of the Biltmore, and she must have had a really good friggin' pitch, because lo and behold, not even a year later, Hometown Sounds, the first one at the Biltmore, pops up, and it was, I would say, a smashing success, just for, again, similar setup, just on a much bigger stage. It's just showcasing these amazing local artists, which I was very happy to be a part of, the first and the third. I think I was, yeah, actually hosted the third one as well. But anyways, absolutely incredible event where, again, all these, all these musicians that have, family, friends, fans, get to kind of interconnect and commingle with, the other 4 or 5 artists that get showcased, and we get 150 people into a room, and it's just, a bunch of people that are active listeners that really love, what we're doing in the local music scene, and we get to just put on an amazing show for everybody. And it's it's a magical thing. If you haven't been to one yet, come check it out.
Yeah.
Crosswalk Entertainment.
So, neither of us are going to remember the date for the next one, are we? There.
Wait, what? Why don't we do one of these things?
Oh, is it who guesses closer?
I was gonna say, the next Hometown Sounds is on, and then you overdub.
Overdub with like an AI Morgan Freeman voice.
Yeah, it
is Sunday, April 12th.
Sunday, April 12th. Be there.
Yeah, and this one they're doing Sum 41 is
Yes.
the theme.
Yes, this is the Sum 41 edition. We got the blessing from some of the band members, and actually, like, some some family of the band members as well that are actually might show up. We'll see.
Might. Ooh. Ain't that interesting?
I'm not certain details I'm not allowed to say, but
under promise, over deliver.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been getting a lot of great feedback. I keep saying we. Crosswalk Entertainment keeps getting such great feedback about this next event, the Sum 41 edition of Hometown Sounds, and it's going to be a little bit of a mix where each artist does a cover of their favorite Sum 41 song, and then they also play some originals as well, and that's going to be just a fun-filled, jam-packed afternoon, and that is one you're not going to want to miss.
No, not at all. All right. Want to close it off with one more song?
Yeah, sure. Let's do one more tune.
Cool.
This is the Shwacast, right? All right. Well, in honor of the Shwacast, this is a tune that I actually wrote for the first Hometown Sounds. The theme of that one was Songs of the City. And so we were all tasked with making a song about the city we live in, Oshawa. So this one's called In a Town Like This. Larry's on bone and he's still passed out. half a cigarette hanging out his mouth. How does it feel? Jenny's on Santa and she's 24. She's making her way out that door so she could find a way to make a buck or two. We sing, oh, 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 ain't that the way it is? And oh, don't you know we're in a town like this? I heard you got kicked out of Chase's, so you went downtown, trying to find a soul in this town that could maybe ask you for a light. They say it's dirty, but it's fine enough for me. When I'm driving through these streets, I'm home and I'm waiting for the green. And we sing, oh, 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 ain't that the way it is? And oh, don't you know we're in a town like this? And in the review of the streetlights of this city, place I call home, I gotta go now, but I still took something with me that will guide me when it's time to go home. And we sing, oh, 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 ain't that the way it is? And we sing, oh, oh, don't you know we're in a town like this? And we sing, oh, 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 ain't that the way it is? And we sing, we're in a town like this. Catch you at the next one. Cheers, guys.